What if the next global war doesn't start with missiles, but with silence? What if, while the world is distracted by elections, conflicts, and headlines, the real battle is already being planned, quietly, methodically, and far away from public view? By the year 2040, Asia will not just be a continent, it will be the center of gravity for the entire planet. Every superpower knows this, every superpower fears this, and every superpower is already preparing for it. Welcome to Geo Chronicles, the channel where we don't follow the noise, we follow the power. Right now, behind closed doors in Washington, Beijing, Moscow, and Brussels, one question dominates classified briefings and military simulations. Who controls Asia controls the future of the world. From invisible cyber wars to silent naval buildups, from supply chains turning into weapons to cities designed for surveillance rather than people, what's coming is bigger than a single war. It's a systemic global shift. And the most terrifying part? Most people won't even realize it's happening until it's too late. Stay with me until the end, because what Asia becomes by 2040 may decide who wins, who loses, and who disappears from history. Point 1. Asia, the economic heart of the future. Asia in 2040 will not be defined by borders. It will be defined by economic gravity. More than 60% of the world's population will live here. Most of the world's megacities will be Asian. And the majority of global manufacturing, innovation, and consumption will flow through this single region. Superpowers don't just see Asia as a market, they see it as the engine of survival. China understands this. That's why it's racing to dominate advanced manufacturing, artificial intelligence, and infrastructure. The United States understands this. That's why it's desperately trying to reshape supply chains away from total dependence on Asia without losing access to it. Europe understands this, but arrived late to the game. By 2040, whoever controls Asian trade routes, financial hubs, and technological ecosystems will be able to crash or rescue the global economy at will. This is why ports, railways, data centers, and undersea cables across Asia are no longer civilian projects, they're strategic assets. Every factory is a leverage point, every chip plant is a potential weapon, every shipping lane is a future chokehold. And here's the uncomfortable truth. The next global crisis won't begin with bombs, it will begin with economic paralysis. Asia is where that switch can be flipped. Point 2. The silent militarization of Asian seas. Look at a map. Now erase borders. What you'll see is something far more important than land. Water. The South China Sea, the Taiwan Strait, the Indian Ocean, the Pacific choke points. These waters are being transformed into the most heavily monitored, militarized zones on Earth. But this isn't the loud militarization of the past. There are no victory parades, no official war declarations. Instead, it's quiet. Artificial islands become defensive outposts. Civilian ships double as surveillance platforms. Submarines vanish beneath shipping lanes used by half the world. Every superpower is playing a long game of positioning, because by 2040, naval dominance won't be about firepower, it will be about control without conflict. If shipping stops, economies collapse. If energy routes are blocked, governments fall. If communication cables are cut, societies fracture. Asia's seas are not just battlegrounds, they are pressure points, and pressure doesn't need explosions to destroy. Point 3. Technology, surveillance, and digital control. Asia is becoming the testing ground for the future of human control systems. Smart cities, facial recognition, AI-driven policing, predictive behavior modeling. To some, it's progress. To superpowers, it's preparation. By 2040, wars won't be fought only with soldiers, but with algorithms. Who controls data controls people. Who controls networks controls reality. That's why foreign powers are obsessed with Asia's digital infrastructure. Telecom networks are no longer about speed, they're about access. Apps are no longer entertainment, they're intelligence tools. The scariest part? Much of this surveillance will feel normal, convenient, invisible. And when the moment comes, when tensions spike or systems fail, control can be tightened instantly, without a single tank rolling through the streets. Asia isn't just building cities, it's building the blueprint for future governance. Point 4. Demography, youth, and unrest. Asia's population will be young, massive, and restless. Millions entering the workforce, millions competing for limited resources, millions connected but uncertain. Superpowers know this combination is explosive. Youth can be innovation or instability, hope or uprising. That's why influence campaigns, education programs, media narratives, cultural exports are flooding Asia right now. This isn't charity, it's pre-positioning loyalty. By 2040, social unrest in Asia won't stay local. It will ripple through global markets, security alliances, and political systems. Control the youth narrative today or face uncontrollable consequences tomorrow. Point 5. Why no one is talking about it openly. Here's the final truth. The reason you don't hear leaders openly discussing Asia 2040 is simple. Admitting it would cause panic. Markets would react. Alliances would fracture. Smaller nations would choose sides too early. So instead, preparation happens quietly. Budgets shift silently. Military doctrines change language. By the time the public conversation catches up, the future will already be locked in. This isn't conspiracy, it's strategic patience, and Asia is the board on which the final pieces are being placed. Asia 2040 isn't a prediction, it's a destination. Every road, economic, military, technological, and demographic, leads here. The real question isn't whether Asia will shape the future, it's who will shape Asia. Because once the systems are built, once alliances harden, once control structures are normalized, there is no reset button. If this video made you uncomfortable, that's the point. The future is rarely announced. It arrives quietly, then all at once. This is Geo Chronicles, and we don't wait for history to explain itself. We watch it being built. Stay curious, stay aware, and remember, the world you wake up to in 2040 is being decided right now.